All right, today we're diving into a really powerful and honestly a pretty unsettling look at our future with AI. This comes from Gawdat, who's a former top executive at Google X, so he's seen this stuff from the inside. And his message is pretty stark. Our world is about to change radically, and it's coming way faster than any of us are prepared for. So yeah, let's get right into it. So Gaudet kicks things off with this incredible analogy. He says, we used to play chess, long-term strategy, thinking 10 moves ahead, careful planning, that's all over. Now, he says we're playing squash. It's all about speed, reaction, agility. There's no time to plan. You're just trying to hit the ball back as fast as you can over and over again. It's a completely different game. And nothing shows this new speed better than this. This is his own experience. Gawdat says that building his current AI startup, it took him and a super small team just 6 weeks. 6. Now get this, if he tried to build that same company back in 2022, it would have been a 4-year project, needing a team of 350 engineers. I mean, that's not just an improvement, that's a fundamental rewrite of how we innovate. Okay, so let's see where this is going. Because this insane acceleration isn't just for tech startups in Silicon Valley. Goddard's big warning is that this same force is about to crash into the job market like a tidal wave. And that's the timeline he gives, 2 to 3 years, that's it. He says that's how long we have before we see a massive, deeply disruptive shift in the job market. We're not talking about some distant future here, we're talking about what's right around the corner. And the scale of this thing, it's just staggering. When he's asked if, say, 10% of jobs will be gone, his answer is way more. He points to jobs like accountants, researchers, clerks, call center agents. Basically, any job that's about processing information, they're on the front lines, and they're about to be automated away at a scale we've never seen before. Gawdat is pretty blunt about what's coming. He actually predicts the next 10 to 12 years are going to be a period of what he calls hell. It's a time of huge societal stress. But to help us make sense of this chaos, he came up with a framework he calls face rip. This isn't just a scary-sounding name. It's actually a mental model, a way to understand the 4 key pressure points where AI is going to squeeze our society and really cause some major disruptions. So let's break this down real quick. First, you have I and E for innovation and economics. That's where AI becomes the main driver of new ideas, causing huge job losses and forcing us to question the basics of capitalism. Then there's P and F for power and freedom. Here, a crazy amount of power is going to end up in the hands of the very few people who control the best AI. Next, we have R and C for reality and connection. The line between what's real and what's fake just completely blurs, which damages our connection to reality and to each other. And finally, A for accountability. Gawdat says this is the real root of the problem. We can deploy this incredibly powerful tech with zero public input or consent. Okay, I know, that is a pretty grim picture, but Gawdat doesn't just diagnose the problem and leave us there. He offers a prescription. So this next part is his actual actionable guide for how you can navigate and maybe even thrive in this new world. He boils it down to 4 skills we all need to develop right now. We have to master AI, learn agility, prioritize ethics, and, this one is huge, we have to stop being so gullible. Let's dig into a couple of the ones he really emphasizes. Let's start with that first one, master AI. The goal here is not to just let AI do your thinking for you. He tells this great story from his engineering days. When he first got a calculator, he didn't just use it to finish his tests faster. He used the time he saved to solve every problem a second time, a different way. He used the tool to make himself smarter, not just to get the work done. And that's exactly how we need to approach AI. And that leads right into this last skill, which might be the most important one. In a world drowning in AI-generated content, being able to think critically is a superpower. Gawdat's own technique is pretty clever. He actually pits different AIs against each other. He'll ask one AI a question, then he'll take that answer to a totally different AI and ask, what did it miss? He's constantly triangulating to get closer to the truth instead of just taking the first answer he gets as fact. So let's say we do it. We develop these skills, and we get through this 10 or 12-year storm. What's on the other side? Well, this is where Gawdat's prediction gets really, really provocative. He actually believes that after the dystopia comes an almost inevitable utopia. So here's the timeline he paints. Right now, and for the next decade or so, we're in this AI arms race that causes all that massive disruption we just talked about, the face rip framework. But after that period of hell, he predicts a utopia. A biblical-style utopia, he says, that happens when a true, benevolent superintelligence effectively takes over. So why is this inevitable? He calls it the fourth inevitable. And the logic is actually pretty simple. Because of competition, any superior AI that gets built will get used. Think about it. If one law firm starts using AI lawyers that are cheaper and better, what does every other firm have to do? They have to adopt AI lawyers too, or they go out of business. Either way, AI becomes the lawyer, and not just repeats industry by industry until AI is managing pretty much everything. Okay, but why would that lead to a utopia? Why wouldn't a super AI just crush us? Well, Gawdat argues that a true superintelligence wouldn't have all our messy human baggage. No ego, no greed, no fear. It would be hyperlogical. It would run on what physicists call the minimum energy principle. It would always choose the most efficient, least wasteful path. And to a being like that, things like war, poverty, and pollution would just look absurdly inefficient and stupid. So we're left with this really challenging vision, right? A painful, chaotic storm ahead, but with an almost unimaginable calm on the other side. According to Gawdat, this future isn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And that really only leaves one question that matters for each of us. Are you prepared to navigate the storm?